Ever wonder what happens when a Hollywood superstar walks into a regular restaurant? You'd think they'd get the red carpet treatment, right? Well, today we're diving into a story that turns that idea completely on its head. This is the tale of a restaurant manager who made the biggest mistake of his career by humiliating and kicking out one of the most recognizable faces on the planet, Will Smith. And trust me, the fallout was something no one saw coming. Picture this, a quaint, upscale restaurant in a bustling city, known more for its quiet ambiance than its celebrity clientele. The kind of place where the manager, a man named Arthur, ran a tight ship. Arthur was old school. He believed in rules, decorum, and above all, his own authority. He prided himself on maintaining an exclusive atmosphere, and he wasn't easily impressed. One busy Tuesday evening, the door chimes, and in walks a man in a simple tracksuit and a baseball cap pulled low. He looks around, a friendly, almost boyish grin on his face. He approaches the host stand and politely asks for a table for one. The hostess is about to seat him when Arthur swoops in. He gives the man a quick, dismissive once-over. A tracksuit? In his fine establishment? Absolutely not. Arthur, with a smug look, steps in front of the man. "I'm sorry, sir," he says, his voice dripping with condescension, "but we have a dress code. We can't accommodate you this evening." The man in the cap looks surprised. "Oh, my apologies," he says, his voice calm and familiar. "I just finished a long day of shooting nearby and was hoping for a quiet meal. I can go change, but is there any chance you could make an exception?" This is where things take a turn. Arthur, feeling his power, scoffs. "Exceptions are for exceptional people, sir. And frankly, your attire suggests you don't fit the bill." He gestures toward the door. "Perhaps a fast food establishment down the street would be more your speed." The other patrons start to notice the commotion. A few whispers ripple through the dining room. The man in the cap simply nods, a flicker of disappointment in his eyes. He turns to leave without another word. As he reaches the door, he pulls off his cap, running a hand through his hair, and for a split second, the entire restaurant sees him clearly under the light. It's Will Smith. The silence is deafening. Jaws drop. Phones are discreetly pulled out. The hostess looks like she's seen a ghost. Arthur, however, is oblivious. He's too busy preening, proud of enforcing his precious rules. He turns back to his staff, puffing out his chest, completely unaware that he just insulted the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a global icon. He didn't just kick out a customer. He kicked out a legend. The next morning, the story is everywhere. A diner who had recognized Will Smith had tweeted about the incident, and it went viral overnight. Will Smith, kicked out, was trending worldwide. News outlets, gossip blogs, and social media were having a field day. The restaurant's page was flooded with one-star reviews. People were outraged. How could anyone treat Will Smith, known for his kindness and down-to-earth personality, with such disrespect? The narrative was clear. A power-tripping manager had let his ego get the best of him. The restaurant's owner, a man named Mr. Henderson, was in full-blown crisis mode. His phone hadn't stopped ringing. He was a businessman who understood the value of reputation, and Arthur had just torpedoed it. He stormed into the restaurant that morning, brandishing his phone, showing Arthur the tidal wave of negative press. For the first time, Arthur's smug demeanor crumbled. He saw the photos, the headlines, the comments calling for his job. The man in the tracksuit wasn't just some random person. He was a celebrity beloved by millions. Mr. Henderson demanded an explanation. Arthur, pale and stammering, tried to defend himself. "I was just upholding our policy. I didn't know who he was." But the owner wasn't having it. "It doesn't matter who he was," Henderson roared. "You were rude, arrogant, and you humiliated a customer in front of everyone. Our policy is about maintaining class, not about being a bully. You've brought shame and ruin upon this business." The finality in his voice was chilling. The inevitable happened. Arthur was fired, publicly. The restaurant issued a formal apology to Will Smith and the public, stating that the manager's actions did not reflect the values of the establishment. They even announced a new come-as-you-are policy for a week, inviting everyone to dine without a dress code as a gesture of goodwill. Arthur, once the king of his small castle, was now unemployed and a public pariah. His fatal mistake wasn't just kicking out a celebrity, it was his failure to show basic human decency and respect. But what about Will Smith? How did he react to all this? In true Will Smith fashion, he handled it with grace and a bit of humor. A few days later, his team released a short video. It showed Will, back in that same tracksuit, sitting in his kitchen eating a bowl of spaghetti. He looks at the camera and says, "You know, sometimes you just want some good food after a long day. No hard feelings. But hey," he winks, "next time, I'll wear a tie." The video instantly went viral, but for all the right reasons. People praised his class and humility. He didn't call for anyone to be fired. He didn't fuel the outrage. He simply rose above it. This act of kindness, however, had an unexpected effect. It made Arthur's actions look even worse in comparison. The public saw the stark contrast, a humble superstar versus an arrogant manager. Will's gracious response was the final nail in the coffin of Arthur's professional reputation. He became a case study in what not to do in customer service. In the end, the restaurant slowly recovered, but the story became a local legend. It served as a powerful reminder that respect and kindness cost nothing, but a lack of them can cost you everything. Arthur learned this the hard way. He discovered that true authority doesn't come from enforcing petty rules, but from treating everyone, whether they're a janitor or a movie star, with dignity. So, the next time you see someone who doesn't quite fit the part, maybe take a second look. You never know who you might be talking to. It could be a future president, a brilliant inventor, or hey, it might just be the Fresh Prince himself, looking for a quiet bite to eat. Thanks for tuning in to this incredible story. What do you think? Was the manager's firing justified? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another deep dive into stories you won't hear anywhere else. See you in the next video.